Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my Dinosaur Survival Modded series. And today we are going to be working on the terraforming that I started in the last episode. So, just to recap, I guess, last episode we worked on this section of the cliff where we I think completed it. I saw a comment that mentioned using pebbles or stone buttons as pebbles for kind of some decorations, and I have been using some, and I think they were absolutely right that this does make it a lot better. Um, so we're gonna add some more today along the cliffside, and then we're gonna get started on this area right here. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my plans for this area. So again, a person commented saying that this should be a little puddle, and I do agree. That's what's gonna happen. So we're gonna make this little pond area, and we're gonna add some waterfalls coming out of the cliffs to make it look a little bit nicer. Here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of keep this as a cliff, but put it more like that style of building, and then we're gonna build some custom trees to go around here. So let's get started with these buttons. And these are just gonna go, maybe not like that, just all over here. I think that if I spread them out evenly, that'll be good. And then I think like cobblestone slabs kind of fulfill the same purpose as like kind of like a pile of rocks. So I'm gonna spread those out as well. There we go. As you can see, I already started doing it around here. Put one there. And it's really just spamming these around. Just like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna do this all the way around, and I'm gonna get started on prepping this area for an actual pond. And I've also collected some wood, so I got some fir wood, some pine wood, and some spruce wood for different types of trees. I grabbed a stack of mud, and that you just make it by combining dirt and water. So hopefully I don't have to use too much of that, because it is a pain in my behind to make. But yeah, and yeah, and I also got some leaves. So I'll get these down, and then I'll start prepping for the pond, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, and we're back. So I went ahead and I went all the way around, and it does make a bit of a difference. I don't know what that was, but yeah, I really like it. So thanks for the suggestion. If you have any more, just don't be afraid to let me know. Um, I'll definitely consider it. I mean, this one was a good idea. So, and I'm sure you have more good ideas uh, in that head of yours. So now for this area, I think I'm gonna go, instead of like sand at the bottom, I think I'm gonna go with coarse dirt, and the mud that I collected I'll put on the side, kind of making it more of like a forest pond than like a beachy one, if that makes any sense. Um, but yes, so I really like the shape of this kind of like cave-in. So I think I'm gonna keep it. What I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna replace the bottom with, instead of grass, just some coarse dirt. So kind of something like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out all of this grass and replace it with coarse dirt so that it can be our pond bed, I guess. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. So this is what it looks like. I've already went ahead and placed the mud that will go some places around the whole pond, and I've also put some at the bottom just because I feel like that might be something that actually happens in real life, where you find like these spots of mud or just not wet sand, I don't know, whatever. I just put them at the bottom just because I thought that maybe that's fitting. And then we are now just going to be doing the fun part of filling this place up with a bunch of water. I'm not going to make you guys sit through this because this might not be the most interesting content there is, but I'll be back with you guys once that's fully filled up. I think I'm going to make it up to this level. It's like the highest point that water's going to go is there. Just because if it's too high, then it kind of looks weird. But yeah, so I'll be right back once that's done. Alright, so now that the water has been filled up, the next step would be to decorate the pond with some vegetation. So I've got some lily pads. I've also got some cattails and some algae. So the algae probably just put on the lower floors and then spread these lily pads out, and then the cattails, I'll have them in like clumps on the side in some areas. So I'm probably going to make a time lapse out of this, so enjoy. Alright, and here we have it. So this is the pond, and there isn't much to it. I think the only thing that's different is I added some flowers here and there, but no big details, and apart from that, it's everything that was seen on the time lapse. So now the next step for this area is to build some custom trees. Now, before I get to that, I kind of want to show you what it would look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my creative world, where I've already started to build some custom trees like all together, and kind of would be a general idea of what I want to have like all throughout this area. So we're going to cut to that, and then we're going to cut right back here and get started. Alright, so here we are, and so this is what it would look like ideally, something like this. So if we kind of go into more detail here, I have kind of three types of trees. So I have these big fir wood trees that, some are this high, which is like around 30 blocks. And then I have these ones who are kind of just the same kind of tree, just a bit younger. And then if we go here, I have kind of the same thing. It's kind of hard to see, but maybe from this side. So you just have something like this, and then when they get older, they get bigger, and so something like that. I also have some redwoods. So this is the perfect example right here. So you have these kind of big ones that go really, really high, and then you have these younger ones, excuse me. I have these younger ones that go like not as high, I guess. And then there's also these small trees here, which are kind of like from fir. Almost forgot. And birch trees, or birch leaves. And these ones are kind of just like thin, long trees, just kind of to fill up the space. And then I have these kind of tiny bushes, and some stones, and then grass. So that's kind of the idea. And then I'd have like this passageway with these lamps so that when it's nighttime, they turn on. And then kind of gives you like a bit of a passageway. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go back to our survival world and let's try to replicate this all over the place. All right, so as you guys have seen in my creative world, we will need some, we'll have some pine trees, some redwood trees, and then these kind of like smaller fir, kind of like hedges, but just these 3x3 trees here. So I went ahead and I collected some redwood from literally right there. I collected fir wood earlier and some pine wood because I thought that I was going to use it, but turns out I'm not. So guess we'll leave that for another project or just a scrap wood maybe. And then I have a bunch of spruce wood because I needed some leaves, which I have here, and I have the acacia leaves, which I collected from the savanna, which is I think 1,000 blocks north or west, sorry. So yeah, now it's just about marking up where I want these trees to be. So maybe something like this for the bigger ones. And then maybe something like this here. And these will probably change or I'll add more in between, but this is just like to get a general idea of how I want to space things. This would be the smaller redwoods, and then we could have these guys up here for the smaller 3x3s that I was talking about, and then we would need the smaller one for wood trees. So yeah, I think the best way to show this kind of like transformation would be through time lapse. So I will let you guys enjoy that.
Alright, so here we go. I went ahead and I added some flowers here and some stones with buttons, pressure plates, and then different types of like gray blocks, so stone, andesite, cobblestone, and they're kind of like splattered around here, so I think there's more here, yeah. And then I used different flowers for different flower patches throughout this whole area. And yeah, I mean, eventually this will keep going this way, and then we're gonna keep working on this area down here. But I just wanted to cut through this time lapse just because I figured that the perfect thing to go right here would be a river. And I don't know yet if I want to have a waterfall going from down here and then keep going, or just have like a little pond here at the end and this being a river on its own. But I do know that I want a body of water that kind of just like spans this whole area. And I don't know if I'll have like another pond there or it just connects to the ocean. If I can pull it up, doing a lot of things that aren't that. I'll have to find the button. But as you can see on the menu map, it'll eventually would connect to the ocean if it keeps going that way. So that would be the idea. I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep going in the time lapse. I'm gonna keep working on this area, have like a river, and I'm gonna stop a little bit early. Um, I'm not gonna make it connect all the way just because I don't know what I'm gonna do with this area yet, so I'm probably gonna stop around here. And then I'm gonna keep working on both sides until I reach that kind of same point. And then we'll wrap up the episode.
All right, so here we have it. So if as you guys should have seen in the time lapse, I built this entire thing, and yeah, I'm really proud of it. So eventually, the idea is, before we actually go into this, the idea is that this will all be covered in the same type of biome as this one, and this would go all the way to the ocean. I think it's better if I show it like this. So here we have what I've done right here. And eventually I'd like it for it to span this entire area here. So kind of like this. And then where the spruce biome is, I want to have a different kind of biome. And then back here, I want something else. So something that I'll have to plan for, but definitely a change would be nice. So yeah, so let's go in here. So yeah, initially I didn't think about making a like kind of a small river going through, but as soon as I started over there, it really turned out nice. And I've got these cattails, so eventually they'll grow. Same with the sugar cane here. And then I built these rocks on the side of the rivers, and there's some inside. And I didn't light this place up because it is a forest, and I did want to keep it that way. But yeah, you guys have already seen this. I added a tree right there. Again, more trees and some rocks here and there. I added some flowers just to make the area nicer. And then here's the waterfall. So eventually I'm going to change this cliff. Um, I just think that the time lapse was long enough, and this can be in another episode when I change this whole area up here. But for now, this is it. I really, really like it. I think it's really nice. There's 3 or 4 different type of trees. So there's these ones, the pine trees. I think this is for actually. Let me check. Yeah, for trees. That's kind of embarrassing. I should have known that, but it's fine. And obviously the redwood trees and these smaller these are pine like bushes almost, and then these trees right here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I think I'm gonna end the episode right here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.